Good Wednesday evening and welcome to the NCWLIFE Evening News. I'm Grant Olson. Before we get to tonight's top stories, let's take a look outside our weather window. And man, does it get any nicer for the middle of February than today. Lots of blue sky and sunshine out there. Our snow has pretty much disappeared. And a beautiful shot from our Wenatchee Heights cross camera. And thank you to Sky-Fi and LocalTel for providing these beautiful shots. And it was a nice one, but a couple more nice days and then some changes as we get into Saturday night, into Sunday morning. A rain-snow mix possible for us. Not a great chance here, but we could see some pretty good snowfall if you're heading over Snoqualmie or Stevens Pass this weekend. And then much cooler temperatures as we get you into next week. We'll have all those details coming up in your weather forecast a little bit later on. And now a few of the stories we're following for you tonight. Because of lower COVID numbers, the rules for the COVID-19 testing site at the Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee have changed. Money for Wenatchee's Confluence Parkway project was not included in a $16 billion transportation package passed by the state Senate last night. And despite last month's record snowstorm, available snowpack in the Wenatchee Valley watershed remains more than 10% below normal. But first, our top story tonight. The number of COVID-19 patients being treated at Central Washington Hospital has fallen to its lowest level in months. Confluence Health reported that as of yesterday, there were 18 people hospitalized with the virus, with only one of those patients being treated in the intensive care unit. COVID-19 hospitalizations have averaged in the mid-20s to mid-30s for the past several months. At some points, there were more than 50 COVID-19 patients at the hospital. Well, because of those lower COVID-19 numbers, the rules for the COVID-19 testing site at the Town Toyota Center in Wenatchee have changed. The Chelan Douglas Health District said yesterday that people will no longer need to make appointments for tests, and they no longer will need to be experiencing symptoms of the virus. The mass testing site was opened January 10th as the Omicron variant of the virus began spreading rapidly through the community. Originally, testing was open for all with no pre-registration required. After long lines of vehicles began showing up for the drive-through test, the health district began requiring pre-registration. As testing supplies began running short, the district then said only people experiencing symptoms would be tested. The site is open Monday through Saturday from 10:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. Well, money for Wenatchee's Confluence Parkway project was not included in a $16 billion transportation package passed by the Senate last night. The city was asking for $85 million to go with $49 million in federal funds to build a North Wenatchee Avenue bypass that includes a second bridge over the Wenatchee River. The transportation plan, crafted by Senate Democrats called Move Ahead Washington, focuses heavily on environmental spending and provides little funding for Central Washington transportation projects. 12th District Senator Brad Hawkins voted against the plan, both as a member of the Transportation Committee and again on the Senate floor. But he said he's not given up hope on finding money for Confluence Parkway during the current session as the bill now heads to the House.
I'd really like to thank Mayor Kuntz, Richard Durock of Link Transit, Jeff Wilkins of the Transportation Council, and Congresswoman Kim Schreier. We've all been very engaged in trying to get the Confluence Parkway project included in this statewide package. I think we made tremendous progress, but the package now moves over to the House of Representatives, where it'll work through the committee process there. And then also at the very end of session, there could be some opportunities to fit this in. What's interesting about the Move Ahead Washington proposal and how the House and Senate Democratic leaders have structured it is that it doesn't have a bonding component. So it doesn't require a supermajority vote of the House or the Senate to pass. It only requires a simple majority. And I believe they know that they have the votes to pass this. And so the question is, can we make a compelling case to get Confluence Parkway included before it goes to the governor?
Despite last month's record snowstorm, available snowpack in the Wenatchee Valley watershed remains more than 10% below normal. The National Weather Service says the Columbia Basin, which includes the Wenatchee River and other tributaries, is at 89% of its average snow water equivalent. That's a measure of how much water is produced by seasonal mountain snowmelt. There's been little appreciable mountain snow accumulation since the January 6th snowstorm, but meteorologists say the difference can still be made up by spring. Mountain snow is crucial for water supply and irrigation and influences both river flows and the severity of wildfires. Well, when we come back, 13th District legislators will host a virtual town hall coming up on Thursday. A bill to help towing companies recover costs has a second chance at passing the legislature. The global Great Backyard Bird Count begins Friday and continues through Monday. And you may have to negotiate some remaining snow, but North Central Washington Libraries and the Chelan Douglas Land Trust have a new surprise for you on the Jacobson Preserve Trail. We'll tell you about that. I'm Grant Olson, and you're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News.
911, what is the address of your emergency?
Yes, it's me. It's my husband. I think is there something the matter with him?
It was a feeling that I'll never forget, like being able to meet them and know that he survived.
Okay, tell me what's happening. Is he conscious?
No, he's not. He's not.
Okay. Take a deep breath for me. I'm getting you help.
Rivercom means to me that I still have my husband here with me. They're the ones that guided me through saving his life.
When it comes to finding a memory care community, you want the very best. You want to know that your loved one is safe and receiving compassionate care in a loving environment. Fieldstone Memory Care is an innovative assisted living community designed for those with Alzheimer's, dementia, and Parkinson's disease. You'll find a community specifically designed to enrich residents' lives. The Fieldstone team is here to help you navigate the important decisions you face when a loved one has dementia or Alzheimer's. Welcome home to Fieldstone.
Welcome back. In another news, constituents in the 13th Legislative District can give their lawmakers a piece of their minds tomorrow in a virtual town hall. Representatives Tom Dent and Alex Ybarra and Senator Judy Warnick team up to give an update on the current legislative session in Olympia and to take comments and questions from residents in the district. Pre-registration for the event is required. You can sign up for the online town hall through any of the lawmakers' websites. Well, a bill to help towing companies recover costs has a second chance at passing the legislature. Senator Brad Hawkins' bill 5406 cleared the Senate last week on a 48-1 vote and now waits in a House Transportation Committee. It would make negligent drivers who are responsible for accidents liable for the costs of towing and allow tow operators to sue for unpaid charges if they're called to a crash scene by law enforcement. The same bill got about this far last year before expiring in committee as the legislative session ended. The current session will close on March 10th. Well, the global Great Backyard Bird Count begins Friday and continues through Monday. Each February, people throughout the world are asked to spend 15 minutes sometime during the 4 days counting as many birds as they can. Organizers say you can go to your favorite bird watching spot or count birds on your bird feeder from the comfort of your home. Results are reported at birdcount.org. The observations help scientists understand global bird populations prior to one of their annual migrations. Well, you may have to negotiate some remaining snow, but North Central Washington Libraries and the Chelan Douglas Land Trust have a new surprise for you on the Jacobson Preserve Trail. The Story Walk program is a series of displays taken from illustrated children's books. This year's feature is pages from Possum's Harvest Moon by Ann Hunter. The displays are set up to encourage young hikers to follow along with the story as they walk the 1 mile trail with their families. The program has been going on since 2018. You can access the Jacobson Preserve Trailhead from the Wenatchee Racquet and Athletic Club parking lot. You're watching the NCWLIFE Evening News. Coming up next, tonight's feature story and your complete local weather forecast. That and much more still to come on the NCWLIFE Evening News. Please stay with us.
What's the best way to attract a wide variety of beautiful birds to your backyard? By offering the birds the right foods in expertly designed bird feeders from Wild Birds Unlimited. Whether you've been feeding the birds for a while or are just getting started, let our backyard bird feeding specialists show you how to add a little joy to your life and make nature a part of every day. Shop now for exclusive bird foods, feeders, hardware, and more. Wild Birds Unlimited. Products designed by experts. Trusted local advice.
I'm John Divis from Wenatchee Dental Arts, and I like to think myself as a comprehensive dentist. We are an office that treats people comprehensively for their dental problems. We do a lot of general dentistry in a broad sense. We don't send everything out. Things that we have the ability to do in the office, we like to keep in the office and under one roof and keep things as complication-free as possible. You can come to one place and have all their dental needs taken care of.
Connect with us on Networked as we introduce you to the people and organizations who are leading innovation in the region. Get inspired, engaged, and networked right here on the NCWLIFE channel.
Join us for live coverage of the Royalty Selection Pageant sponsored by Cashmere Valley Bank, Saturday, February 19th. The countdown to coronation gets underway at 6:30. The pageant starts at 7. Coverage is sponsored by Wenatchee Valley Dispute Resolution Center, Harvest Valley Pest Control, Coldwell Banker Cascade, Merry Maids, August Edge, Apple Valley Honda, and the Chelan County PUD's Discovery Center. It's the Royalty Selection Pageant, only on the NCWLIFE channel.
Welcome back to the NCWLIFE Evening News. All this week, NCWLIFE is featuring Eric Granstrom's interviews with the 10 finalists for Apple Blossom Festival Royalty. We're airing portions of those interviews on the Evening News each day this week, with the full interviews shown on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. In the spotlight today are finalists Paige Garrettson of Wenatchee High School and Mallory West of Eastmont.
Why did you decide to run for Apple Blossom?
The $10,000 for me was that money for school would be amazing. But not only that, how often do you get to dress up in these huge ball gowns and
That's true.
represent a little city?
You say your mom inspires you. You kind of went into that a little bit. Why specifically, when they ask you for someone who inspires you, why did you pick your mom?
My mom's a nurse practitioner, and I want to go into the medical field too. So she's my role model, and she's always there for me and pushing me to do better and be better.
Since you're relatively new to the Wenatchee Valley, right? Where did you come from before you were here?
Colorado Springs.
Okay.
And I had moved around more, but I call Colorado Springs home.
Okay.
So.
What was that change like for you to come here? I mean, that's kind of similar topographical almost,
for sure.
Right?
But I think Washington is by far so much more prettier. It is just in the valley in itself, and having the river so close and skiing so close, it's great.
Why did you decide to run for Apple Blossom?
Growing up, I was always a really, really shy kid. I never did anything. I didn't even raise my hand for simple questions. So I think my mom, when we got the paper, she said, let's just try it. What's the worst that can happen? It's just a meeting. So we went to the meeting, and I fell in love, and I was like, you know what? Let's just do it. Let's just try it out. Like, what's the worst that could happen? And now I am here.
Say your mom inspired you. How so?
My mom, if it wasn't for her, I probably wouldn't be sitting here today, because before the top 10, I kind of got cold feet, and I had a lot of anxiety leading up to this, and so I almost backed down. But my mom, you know, she sat me up, kind of pushed me out the door, and was like, nope, you're gonna do it. I'm not gonna let you quit, because when you get scared, you quit, and you're not gonna quit. What's the worst that can happen? Like, so what? Your name doesn't get called, so what? So what, you mess up your speech, so what? Who cares? Like, you're having fun. Like, this is a fun experience for everyone. So she's just kind of my big role model, and I get inspired by her every day.
Hope your Wednesday was a good one. Time now to take a look at your north central Washington weather forecast. How could it not have been a great day, especially if you were outside at times today? What a gorgeous mid-February winter day. It didn't feel like winter out there today. All kinds of sunshine with that blue sky, and our snow just disappearing now, isn't it? And a lot of us will say, finally, especially that ice. High temperature today, unofficially, 51 degrees. 42 is our normal high, so we blew past that this afternoon. 63 is our record high temperature. That was set back in 1977. As far as lows go, how about this? 38 degrees, our overnight low temperature. That's 10 degrees above where we should be for this time of year. And our record low, do you remember it? Last year on this date, 14 degrees when you headed out the door. 7:04, our sunrise this morning, and the sun sets now at 5:26. Taking a look at what we can expect temperature-wise as we get you into your Thursday. This beautiful weather is going to continue tomorrow, once again on Friday. But big changes coming next week. We'll get to that in a second. 45 for Moses Lake and Ephrata tomorrow. Quincy and Wenatchee, the warm spots tomorrow at 46 degrees. 44 down in Ellensburg. 45 in Kashmir. 43 up in Chelan. And 41 for you folks up in the Omak, Okanagan, and Tonasket area. So a nice day for all of us once again tomorrow. The reason? This area of high pressure, which continues to drag that warmer air up and into Washington State. And it's provided just a beautiful week so far this week, and that's going to continue as we get you into Thursday. As we talked about, maybe a few more clouds tomorrow. There is an area of low pressure here that's riding down the backside of that ridge, and that could provide some cloudiness for us. But for Friday, we are back to that bright, beautiful sunshine. We'll see high temperatures once again on Friday in the mid-40s. Big area of high pressure in the central basin also providing us with those clearing skies. As we get you into the weekend, some changes happening, not so much during the day, but we will see about a 30% chance of rain in the evening. This area of low pressure kind of dragging some clouds and moisture with it. So not much of a chance that we'll see anything, but there is that chance. And that could linger into our Sunday morning too, with the chance of morning rain and snow. Mostly cloudy by afternoon on Sunday, so not a bad way to end our weekend with high temperatures near 40. And then get ready for the cold. President's Day, partly cloudy and cooler. High pressure moves to the north, and that'll allow a northerly flow to move down. We're talking highs only in the mid-30s for Monday. And Tuesday, yeah, even colder than that. Mostly sunny skies. It will be cooler with highs by then only in the low 30s. And we're talking about 31 degrees. Taking a look now at your 7-day forecast. We will get all the way up to 46 for a high temperature tomorrow. 30 our overnight low tonight. A few clouds tomorrow. Mostly sunny on Friday and 45. So a beautiful week this week. 44 for Saturday. And then the clouds start rolling in. A 30% chance of mainly evening showers, morning showers for Sunday, and 40. And then there's that cool down as we get you into Monday and Tuesday. Partly cloudy Monday and 36. We will see some sunshine on Tuesday, but boy, it's going to be chilly. Highs of 33 with a low temperature overnight of 20 degrees. And that's a look at your local weather forecast. Coming up next, tonight's sports report with Eric Granstrom and more as the NCWLIFE Evening News continues right after this.
Introducing Alpine Airman. Because every home needs a superhero to eliminate poor indoor air quality, send inefficient operating equipment packing, and cut high energy bills down to size. For heating or cooling and equipment replacement, turn to the experts and the superheroes at Carrier and Alpine Air. We offer the best deals on high-efficiency Carrier products, along with friendly, knowledgeable service and incredible savings to fit your budget.
Somewhere behind these doors is a family member, often alone, taking care of a loved one with Alzheimer's or some other disability, or providing care for a loved one who is not ill but only aging and no longer able to care for themselves. In the field of caregiving, this is the home front. For the home is where most Americans will live out their last days. Contact Aging and Adult Care of Central Washington for a variety of services, including caregiving, meals, and medication help.
News, weather, and sports. It's all here weekdays at 5, 6, and 10 on your local news source, the NCWLIFE channel.
Are you wanting high-speed internet but don't have access to PUD fiber? Try Sky-Fi high-speed wireless internet from LocalTel. Call 888-8888 today. And now it's a sports update on the NCWLIFE channel.
And a happy Wednesday to you. For the second time this season, the Wenatchee Wild were shut out last night. The Vernon Vipers came out on top of Wenatchee 2-0 at the Cal Tire Place, even though the Wild outshot the Vipers 27-20. Wenatchee's goaltender Tyler Shea stopped 18 of 20 shots on the net, on the night that is. That couldn't match the effort by Vernon's Rowan Clark, who stopped all 27 shots. Other shutout loss for Wenatchee came back on November 26th at home against Salmon Arm, 4-0 the final that night. We pick up the highlights shortly after the start of the game with the home squad finding the back of the net.
First one after it in the corner, cycles it around to the right wall. Talon Zackel there, circle, shot off a stick. Lavery out of the corner, pushed off the puck, pokes it free to Zackel. Zackel into the high slot for JoJo. JoJo shoots and scores! JoJo Tanaka Campbell's got goals in 3 straight. A nice setup, posted in, and early in this hockey game, the Vipers have a 1-0 lead. But he couldn't get it onto his forehand. He was facing the wrong way. And now a breakaway pass. Here's Jack Ivey. He's in alone. Pardon me, that's Ben Ivey, and he's stopped in front by Rowan Clark with a big save. County turned it over. Here's Milburn walking into the backhand. Shea the save. A bad turnover in the Wenatchee zone, and Tyler Shea has kept this game from getting out of hand. Right side Culling. Kent one-timer stopped. Rebound stopped again by Shea. Robbed Fricker. Now a pass hits Culling and deflects out to center. My goodness, the Vipers nearly had another one. Gets it out. Tonelli right back in by himself. 1-on-2. Nice move. Tonelli to the goal, to the backhand. Scores! Couple of Island guys. Lavery centers. Tonelli stopped. Rebound. And Shea comes to McNelly. Stopped in front by the goaltender again, as McNelly had eyes on his first PCHL goal. Shea's going to the bench for the extra attacker. Wilder going 6-on-5 early here. 2-0 Vipers lead, so the net is empty. Shot to the goal, knocked down in front. Puck sitting there, and it was blocked on its way through. Sidlowski out of the left wing circle. Takes a look, takes the shot. Stopped by Clark, no rebound. Holds on, trying to get a shooting lane. He'll send one down for Littler. Quick shot, stopped by Clark. The rebound, stopped again, and the Vipers will clear into the zone. He'll stop up, feeds one into the corner. Here's a spin move from Emerson. Stopped to the side of the net. They jam away. Where is it? Clark, puck is loose. Puck is apparently in, but they're going to wave that off immediately. Sidlowski, wrist shot off a stick, bounces through. Clark the save. They jam away at it. Where is it? They still jam away, and it's underneath the body with 5.6 seconds left. One more key defensive zone faceoff. This time it's won by the Wild. Shot off a leg, goes in behind the net. Griffin Barr tied up there, and you can put this baby to bed. Rowan Clark's been the hottest thing in the BC Hockey League, and he finally gets rewarded with his first BCHL shutout.
Yeah, not for a lack of effort last night by the Wild. Wenatchee returns home tomorrow to host the Vipers in the first 2 games at the Town Toyota Center. They'll drop the puck tomorrow night at 6. Then on Friday at 7:05, head to WenatcheeWildHockey.com if you want to get some tickets. Well, the Seattle Kraken play at Winnipeg tonight, and the duo calling the game on Root Sports Northwest will make NHL history. That's right, Everett Fitzhugh and JT Brown will be the first all-black broadcast team to call a game in NHL history. Fitzhugh already made history back in August when he was hired to be the Kraken's radio play-by-play voice. Now he'll be filling in for John Forsland, who calls the Seattle games for Root, because Forsland is calling the same game tonight on the national broadcast. That provided a window for Fitzhugh to slide into Forsland's chair and join Brown, making them the first all-black broadcast team in NHL history. Now on the ice, Seattle looking forward to bouncing back from a 6-2 loss to Toronto on Monday. They'll drop the puck in Canada. In fact, it's on right now. You can witness the history if you want to watch at Root Sports Northwest. Other action, playoff basketball is on TV here coming up tonight. It's the District 6 4A play-in game as the Eastmont Wildcats host the Sunnyside Grizzlies. Eastmont finished the season 11-6 overall, 5-5 in Big 9 play. That was good enough for 4th place in the conference, thus giving them the home playoff game tonight to get into the district tournament. Sunnyside finished in 5th place at 4-8 in Big 9 play, 10-10 overall. Eastmont swept the season series with the Grizzlies, winning at home January 20 back in January, 26-40, or make that 67-45 was the final. Last time on the road, just last Saturday, 58-47 was the final, with Eastmont coming out on top. Grant and I have the play-by-play, 6 o'clock live on Facebook, 7 o'clock here on a delay here on TV. Wenatchee, meanwhile, will try to beat Moses Lake for the second straight time in a play-in game on the road tonight at 6. Panthers coming off Saturday's 46-42 win over Moses Lake. This will be the fourth time the two teams meet this season, with the Chiefs winning the first two by scores of 58-49 and 59-42. The Eastmont girls will face Sunnyside on the road in their play-in game. Wildcats finished the regular season 2-9 in Big 9 play. That's sixth place. Sunnyside finished 7-5 and beat Eastmont last Saturday 64-50. Grizzlies enjoyed a 20-point win over the Wildcats for the first time the two teams met. Tipped tonight at 6 o'clock at Sunnyside. Other Big 9 play-in game has Davis hosting West Valley, also at 6. Brewster girls had their season come to an end last night with a 3-point loss at Tonasket, 63-60. Lake Roosevelt plays at Okanagan Friday in that district championship. That'll be at 6:30. Gonzaga reclaimed the number 1 ranking Monday for the third stint this season atop the AP Top 25, moving up one spot to swap places with Auburn after the Tigers fell to number 2 following their first loss since November. Mark Few's Bulldogs reached number 1 for a 5th week this season. The Zags spent 3 weeks at the top before falling out after a loss to Duke, and also spent a week at number 1 in mid-January before being supplanted by Auburn. Bulldogs travel to Pepperdine tonight for an 8 o'clock game. That game is on ESPN2. Finally, Seahawks have a new defensive coordinator. Finally, it's been a while. Seattle announced that Clint Hurt has been promoted to the position as part of an overhaul of the defensive coaching staff after the firing of Ken Norton Jr. Also hired were Sean Desai, who is an associate head coach defense, and Carl Scott, who was named the defensive passing game coordinator and defensive backs coach. On the other side of the football, Andy Dickerson was named the team's offensive line coach, taking over from Mike Solari, whom the team parted with last Friday. That's a look at sports news. I'm Eric Grandstrom. Grant, back to you.
Thanks a bunch, Eric. And one final news note, Chumpstick Highway, which has been closed since Sunday because of large boulders, one on the road, two hanging over the roadway, now been cleared, and that roadway opened this afternoon at 2 p.m. Now let's check in with Dan Kuntz for a look at what's coming up tomorrow morning on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Dan?
Thanks, Grant. Join me for a Thursday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll have highlights of tonight's Eastmont Sunnyside play-in game. See who punches their ticket to the next round of postseason basketball. And we continue to get to know the candidates for the top 10 Apple Blossom Royalty. We'll be crowning a queen and 2 princesses on Saturday night at the Wenatchee Convention Center. Tomorrow you're going to meet Brenda Calvillo and Rayanne Salcido running for the Royal Court. They'll be profiled on the second half of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, and everything else you need to start your Thursday. Get your day going live and local with Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We'll see you tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Grant, back to you.
Thank you, Dan. And that's going to do it for our newscast tonight. For more on these stories and other news from around North Central Washington, you can find us on Facebook or our website at ncwlife.com. And remember, if you see news happening, we'd like to hear from you. You can send us an email at news@ncwlife.com or give us a call at 888-NCWL. That's 888-6295. I'm Grant Olson. Thanks for joining us, and have a great night.
With TV advertising, what we want to do is more deeply connect with the community.
People spot me in different parts around North Central, Costco and Wenatchee, say, hey, you're the pizza guy. And so they wouldn't know that if it weren't for the TV commercials we've done.
We've been here so long that people already know who we are and what we do, but to have that image flash on their television screen as opposed to just hearing it on the radio or seeing it in the newspaper, I just love the fact that we can actually put our finger on when a customer comes in and says, I saw your ad.
It's becoming increasingly difficult in this digital age to know where are your customers listening or watching, because I watch all the different channels that they watch too, like Cooking Channel, History Channel, and so it was wonderful to be able to be on there.
I would say that if you want to do business in Wenatchee, then you should connect with the people of Wenatchee, and there's no better way to do that than with NCWLIFE.